Deadpool and Wolverine just released, but LEGO X-Men sets are sparse. Today, I want to check out our most recent entry into that sub-theme, the 76281, the X-Men X-Jet. I'll show you its minifigures, its build, and tell you whether it's actually worth getting if you're caught in the Deadpool hype, but are unsure whether or not you should spend $85 on the set. Let's get into it. The X-Men X-Jet is one of only a handful of X-Men sets released since the start of the LEGO Marvel theme. Lately, they've been coming out with a few more, like 3 figures in the second Marvel CMF, the Wolverine construction figure, and in November, we're also going to get a big X-Men mention. Currently though, this is the best available set for X-Men fans. It released back in January of this year and is based off Disney Plus's X-Men 97 show. Its retail price is $85, 85 euros, or 70 Great British pounds. The price is the main point of contention around the set, just because it's so enormous, especially with the piece count in mind. In total, this set comes with 359 pieces, which isn't a whole lot and results in a price per piece of nearly 24 cents. That's more than double of what it should optimally be. Including that piece count are also 4 figures, which we'll look at first to get an idea whether this set is actually worth its price. The 4 figures here are all based off the X-Men 97 looks, also providing us with one character we've never gotten before in LEGO form, Rogue. So let's see which of these is the best and whether they at least somewhat justify this set's insane price. Cyclops is the first figure for today, this only being the second time we've ever gotten this character in LEGO format. Despite it being a big upgrade from the first one, this minifig is still riddled with flaws. Let's start with the legs, which are entirely devoid of any printing. We really would have needed some here though. Optimally dual molded legs would have been the way to go, but even some smaller details or just yellow hips would have helped this figure out immensely. This way though, it looks very plain, which isn't helped by the pretty poor yellow printing on the rest of the figure, which makes the color feel dim and doesn't really make it pop out. If we ignore the colors, the printing is honestly great, and the back gets the same amount of detail. The head showcases his signature glasses as well as his balaclava. The skin part of his head is definitely a little too light, which is due to it being printed on the blue base. It should also have probably extended all the way up to the hair and not cut off right below it, but hey, at least we have a hairpiece this time around. Sadly though, it doesn't completely hide the alternative face on the back, which is symptomatic for this figure's issues, even if the alternative doesn't necessarily look bad. Next up, I've got Wolverine. I cannot review this figure unbiasedly, not after we got a so much superior version in the second Marvel CMF. But let's start at the legs. On a positive note, there's toe printing, which definitely adds to the figure, especially with the incredibly poor yellow printing on the rest of the legs. It looks nothing like it should, which becomes even more obvious when comparing it to the CMF version. The torso is honestly decent, with every color looking great and the red bringing some more variation into it. On the back, we have the same amount of detail, but it does showcase the strong contrast between the torso and the legs. The cowl has been great since the very first time it released and continues to stay amazing. Underneath we have 2 nice faces, even though it doesn't make too much sense to have a face without the goggles when LEGO doesn't include a hairpiece. Magneto is the third figure I want to look at, and which has also changed the most from previous versions. This one does no longer come with his iconic helmet, which is accurate to his in-universe look. Instead, he dons a luscious head of white hair. Personally, I'd have probably gone with the Hermione or Sirius Black hairpiece since his hair is a little wavier in the show, but this works as well. I do have my gripes with the face. I think it makes him look too young. We do have some wrinkles on his face, but it still doesn't make him look like someone born in the 1930s. At least the expression is good, which I can't really say for the alternative one since it just makes him look like a child. The torso carries Magneto's prominent M as its most dominant part, looking really good. Finding a correct color for him is quite difficult to be honest, since the suit in the show mostly appears as black with pink highlights, but in my opinion, going with pink as the primary color wasn't a mistake here. Breaking up the pink at the top here, we have some printing depicting the scarf part of his cape that is supposed to transition into the actual one, which is fairly decent. Sadly, we have neither dual molded arms nor printed legs. We don't need printed legs to be honest, but the figure looks rather bland now. Dual molded arms, like we've seen on Wonder, would have done wonders, but as many nice things as there are to say about this figure, in this state, it just looks too bland. Lastly, we have the most desirable minifig from the set, Rogue. Starting at the legs, there's really nothing to complain about. I feel like dual molding would have helped, but in my opinion, it's not necessary here. The colors really pop, which sadly can't be said about the torso. Now, of course Rogue always wears a jacket, but the problem presenting itself here is with her undersuit. The yellow of it does not match the molded yellow of the legs. It's incredibly off-putting, and even as pretty much the only negative, it really pulls this figure down. Especially in comparison to the rest of the torso, which is fantastic, with the X-Men belt buckle, the half-covered X-Men logo, or all the detail on the jacket. The back also has some, and now we get to the face, just looking really good. The expression of the stress is very well done and accompanied by both a signature headband and pronounced lips. Of course, we also have a second, happier face, which gets completely covered by the hair, thankfully. I would have probably gone with a different hairpiece, but this one is decent, even if there should have been way more white on it. Overall, the figure selection is just okay, and for a price of $85 and only 4 figures, we need more than just okay, we need good figures. So let's see whether the build can make that up. So this build now has to be really great to make that $85 price tag worth it, because as it stands, it's grossly overpriced. To be fair, on first glance, it looks brilliant, the shape is unique and LEGO managed to execute it very well using a lot of slow pieces. In terms of size, this set is decent, it's not blowing anyone off the water to be clear, and especially when compared to other sets, it falls on hard times. To put it in numbers, this set measures 30 cm in length, 25 cm in width and has a total height of 8 cm. That's not bad on first glance, but compared for example to 2021's X-Wing, which costs $50 and exceeds this build in all but height. So, not making a great case for the set's value so far. Let's start looking at the actual build with the cockpit. Straight off the jump, as mentioned before, the shape is wonderful. The slow pieces, together with the windshield, create a very sleek look without a single gap to subtract from it. Thanks to the hinge piece used here, the windshield sits very tightly, but can be opened without any struggle. In here we have two long sticky pieces, acting as control panels for each of the passengers, as well as one big for the pilot, showing Magneto on its screen. You can fit two figures in without any issues, and when putting the windshield back down, no gaps start to pop up either. It's pretty much the same thing with the back, only that it's, for obvious reasons, not transparent. If we reveal the interior, we see the same two rows of control panels and a bigger screen back here too. Now, even though there are technically only 3 good guys, we have another 2 seats, so let's say you want to put a Magneto or one of the X-Men from the CMF, you can do that as well. When you open this back flap, you also gain access to the 2 containers back here. No idea why they're grey, could have just made them like dark blue or dark grey, but oh well. It's a little difficult to get them out, but when you do, you will find more ammo for the stud shooters as we'll look at in a minute. When you close the roof here though, it locks the 2 boxes in place, and even if turned upside down, they stay where they are. It's time to now get to my main problem area on the build, that being this place right here, holding the hinges for the back and the front. It just doesn't fit in, color-wise, at all. Now, a smooth way of building this would have been optimal, similar to the 2014 X-Jet. This one has some obvious technical advantages, which is why I'm fine with it, but I don't get why they went with light grey pieces, instead of dark blue or black, or hell, even dark grey. The back here looks pretty decent, despite of these 2 studded lanes here. To each side we have the engines with wings and fins that have stickers not just to add more detail, but to also bring some more red and yellow into the color scheme. Below the engines there's spring-loaded shooters, which in combination with these weird slow pieces also act as landing gear. To the very front of the ship we find the stud shooters I previously mentioned, as well as 2 headlights, and I gotta say, I think it's a great idea to place all kinds of shooters underneath the ship. It adds play features while not destroying the look of the jet, like on so many others in the past. So I can say that the build is great, but does it really justify the price of $85? No! $85 is insane! The build is really good. I definitely think an upgrade from the previous one, but I'll make a video on that comparison in the future. Despite of how much I adore this build, it's just far from enough to justify that enormous price tag. The figures might have been able to push up the actual value here, but as it stands, there are too few and they just aren't good enough. Only 2 of them come with lag printing, and even then they are riddled with printing issues. In consideration of that, I can't recommend the set if you're buying it at full price. If you can find it for below $65, then maybe. I think $60 should have been the retail price anyways, but I'm not LEGO. Now, if you do want to see me talk more about the X-Men, specifically the figures, check out this video right here where I showcase all the X-Men figures I have. And, well, until next time, goodbye.